Yeah, great weekend, great opening weekend for us, necessary opening weekend for us. We needed to get off to a good start with the schedule that we had, and we did, because it gets a lot more difficult moving forward for the next 3 weeks. Certainly the Louisville match on Wednesday, but even beyond that, it gets really difficult for the next 3 weeks. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. So with that, I'll take questions.
We talked to you last Monday. You said it's going to take a little while to iron things out.
Mm-hmm.
The first day you guys played, I believe, was 25-8. Did that kind of start surprise you with how well things were kind of gelling, or were you just?
Well, yeah, the first day we were really good. Day two we came out, and I don't know if you were watching those scores, but we were down like 11-4 in the first game, and we're just going to be up and down. We're talented enough to put together impressive stretches, but we're vulnerable enough to have to dig out of some holes too. And some of the things that have to happen for our team, Abby Schaefer, our freshman libero, was very, very solid in her opening weekend of play, and I think that's going to dictate, how we do. We handled the ball really well, and we know those things are going to be important.
To have that road trip you had, getting straight set wins in all those games, to have that before a really tough top five team coming into town, how much can you appreciate that? Because obviously you said it was a necessary weekend. How much can you appreciate that?
Well, it was just paramount that we get off to a great start. Those were 3 matches that on paper we should have won, and we did in convincing fashion. But it's a different animal walking in here on Wednesday. Louisville's a top 5 team, and they're probably underrated. They are starting to watch film on them. They are a legitimate national title contender. They have all the pieces. They're deep. They're physical. They're experienced. They're very, very good. You saw the dominant way in which they played in their opening weekend, and it's going to be a massive, massive challenge. To me, this Wednesday is more a celebration of volleyball in this state right now, right? I mean, we have 3 teams. This is the 3rd year in a row we've had 3 teams in the top 25 in the country in the sport of women's volleyball, in Kentucky, Louisville, and Western Kentucky. And, Louisville has owed us this return for a little while, and we were finally able to work it out. And after I watch them on film, I wish they would have put it off a couple more years. They're a terrific team. They will be. They were a Final Four team last year. They lost to eventual national champion Wisconsin in 5. They're the real deal. We're going to have to play exceptional volleyball to be in sets. And but it's a great opportunity for our team. I look forward to these a great deal. These don't make me nervous as a coach at all. It's one of the few times we can go out there and just let it fly and not have the weight of the world on our shoulders for once. And so we're looking forward to the opportunity.
You mentioned the weight of the world isn't on your shoulders, but as much as you guys are already being respected and recognized outside of Kentucky, to have a win like that Wednesday against, like you said, a national title contender, how much more attention could that give this team, and what could that mean?
Well, it would certainly send shockwaves through college volleyball if we could pull that off this early in the year. But this is the message I'll be giving our team this weekend. To be honest, the biggest matches on our schedule are the ones Friday and Saturday. Moving forward, this is house money on Wednesday night, playing against a team of their caliber, and so I expect us to play loose and free and aggressive. But it's more important for the health of our season and our schedule to be locked in this weekend with what we have coming. I never really feel like I have to say a lot going into matches like this one, because this is what you play the game for, right? I don't have to make sure that our team is ready on Wednesday, because we'll go out there and we'll let it fly. And a team like Louisville is going to expose all the things that I'm trying to tell you guys about that exist in our gym right now. And but that's great too. That's what we need. And I'm looking forward to see us stack up against a really, really good team in here on Wednesday.
Last time Louisville came here would have been 2019 NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
What do you remember about that match, and how do you expect the atmosphere to be, all things considered, top 5 team come Wednesday?
Yeah, last time we played them was we were in a 5th set in the second round of the NCAA tournament with a chance to go to the Sweet 16. And it was just an epic match. We kind of went blow for blow all night long, and, they showed their championship medal and got us in that 5th set in front of, 5,000 people in Diddle Arena. And, this is again, Wednesday is going to be a celebration of some of the very best athletes that this sport has to offer. Lauren Matthews, I say it all the time, Lauren Matthews, Paige Briggs, Katie, those kids can play with anybody in the country. And Louisville's going to have a locker room full of those kind of athletes. And so it's just going to be a really jaw-dropping display of physicality and athleticism and competitiveness. And it's everything that our sport should represent. And, again, what Danny has done with Louisville's program, what Craig Skinner's doing with Kentucky's program. And it's just a really special thing to see in our state. And we're looking forward to that matchup.
Have you been given any kind of indication of ticket sales or
I haven't.
that game or season-wise?
I haven't. What a great way to open up Diddle Arena with our new floor and, having a national championship contender in here. I got to imagine there's going to be a phenomenal atmosphere in here on Wednesday night. I haven't gotten past the Bradley tournament yet last weekend. We're still trying to put things together. And because, again, I understand the buzz that this matchup creates, in Diddle Arena, but there's a much bigger picture for me going on, and it's trying to fix some things in a hurry that I know are going to need to be fixed for us to have success long term. And these next 3 weeks, I'm telling you now, you're going to see ups and downs for WKU volleyball, but we're going to take it on the chin a few times. The quality of the teams we're playing is unforgiving in the next 3 weeks, and so but I will say I like our team a lot, and I think we're going to be very, very good. And it could happen sooner than I think. I hope it happens about Wednesday morning when everybody wakes up. But if it takes another week or two, I do know that it's going to happen with this team. I like this team a lot.
So with these next few weeks, talk about the quality of opponents, including Wednesday and this weekend. Before you guys really get into that tough conference play, to have that elite competition now, I'd imagine that's got to be really humbling before you take on USA opponents. And then once you get into the conference tournament as well.
Yeah, that was the purpose, because, we needed these 3 this weekend, which we got to get off to a 3-0 start and get our head above water. But, yes, we have Louisville on Wednesday. We've got a Bowling Green team on their home court on Friday night who just won at Tennessee. We've got, it's just team after team of excellence. Again, even a lot of the mid-majors that you see are teams that are coming off 20-win seasons and picked to win their league. And there is nothing but quality moving forward in our schedule. There's for the next 3 weeks, but we're a pretty quality opponent on the other side of the net as well. And so we're going to win our share of them. I don't have any doubts, but what it means is, we're not just going to roll through them like Western Kentucky volleyball has done in the past 3 years. We're not going to be sitting here 3 weeks from now saying, come on, coach, you said we were going to struggle and we're 12-1. Like, it's just not going to be that for the next 3 weeks, but it doesn't need to be that. We need to be challenged. We need to see our weaknesses so we can get them fixed. And I have no doubt that we have the makeup in that locker room to fix those things. And so it's time to figure out what they are and keep moving forward.
This is going to be kind of a long question, so bear with me.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, I was doing a story on Paul Sandiford, talking about Jeff Walls, Darren Horney, who was over at Nebraska. And one of the big things they talked about was how he grew, the fan base and the attendance at those games. Last week, it sounded like that was a big goal for you, was growing that fan base for women's volleyball here in Bowling Green. When you look back at what Coach Sandiford was able to do in that regard, what do you take away from that, and what lessons are you trying to apply that to grow this program?
That's a great question. Coach Sandiford made women's basketball, Coach Sandiford made women's basketball in Bowling Green an event. He made it, it was something people got excited to come do, and he did it by recruiting great athletes and putting a great product on the court. I think a lot of times coaches are begging for attendance, but then you get there and it's like watching a bad movie. And we've worked really, really hard to build our product. And in this world of college athletics where Western Kentucky, doesn't have, fat enough pockets to do all the things that can be done to be competitive, a home environment is one of the things that we can control and this community can control. And people talk to me all the time about, Coach, we're so appreciative of you and your program, and what can I do? And what you can do is show up and give us an environment that's as good as anywhere in the country. And I don't just mean show up for the Louisville game. I mean show up every night and make it, because when recruits come in to this building, they are looking at the size of your locker room and what's the weight room look like and how's your arena look. look and all that, but they're also coming in to feel that environment, and that's something we can control. And if we're going to continue to do this at a high level, it's something we must control. And so, it's not always the big donor that's putting up tens of thousands of dollars. It's everybody in this community digging $8 out of their pocket to walk into a volleyball game and create an atmosphere that's deserving of a top 25 program. And that's what we're trying to do every day, and that's what I challenge our community to do is if you love it, if you appreciate it, then come show up. Come show up and let our players feel it and experience it, and know that there are recruits that walk through this door that may see a little smaller locker room or a little bit less this, but when they walk in that environment, it can be big time from the moment they step there. And that has nothing to do with anybody more than the fan base in this community. And so it's an important piece of this thing moving forward.